The upcoming sessions, would you suggest we might see further weakness?
Well, last week was the third consecutive week of falls for the Australian share market, and unfortunately it looks like we're now into the fourth week. Our market down by 0.8%, and I think a big impact on our market today was Japan. We saw a massive fall in Japan. In fact, the market's there down 3.3% at the moment at a 6-week low. Not only that, if we have a look across the Australian market, while we did see a sell-off in some of the large caps, it was really the small and the mid caps which were heavily sold off. If we have a look at large caps, they fared relatively well compared to the market, but the mid-cap index was actually down double the market, down by 1.6%. The small-cap index was down double the market, down 1.6%, and the mid-cap index was down more than double the market, down by 2.3% today. And if we have a look at what's happened all year long, what we have seen is that the large end of the market has been the area of safety, whereas the mid-cap and the small-cap stocks have underperformed. So large caps up by 6.5% for the year, mid-caps up 3%, so around about half of that, and the small caps actually losing 9.4%. Today was all about the big four as well as Newcrest Mining on the upside. On the flip side, though, that profit warning coming through from Cochlear, seeing the healthcare space one of the worst performers. Telstra also initially saw a big drop, down by 3% in the morning, but by the end of the session down about 1.5%. And information technology, quite a small place on the Aussie market, but absolutely smashed today.
Michael,
it was nice to see a bit of a bounce back today, and when I do am able to get out of the office for lunch, I guess the talk at lunchtime is that the banks are attractive as long as the yield is over 5%, and under it, well, you know, people are going to either stay firm or maybe even take some profits there. So we are seeing bank yields above 5% again, and a little bit of support coming through. May was a terrible month for the banks, but we have to remember that 3 out of the 4 big banks went ex-dividend in that month, NAB, Westpac, as well as ANZ. And if we usually have a look around ex-dividend dates, it usually signals a sell-off. In fact, if we have a look at these 3 stocks over the last 10 dividend payments, both Westpac and ANZ, in the month after the ex-dividend date, they've seen 10 negative performances in the last 10 dividends paid, which is pretty amazing. NAB has seen negative performance in 9 out of the last 10 dividends paid. So that's 1 month after those ex-dividend dates. And the average decline is around about 7%. So it is a significant decline that we see in share prices there. If we have a look at how these banks have reacted after their ex-dividend date, NAB's down 11% so far, Westpac's down 11% so far, and ANZ's down 9% so far. So a little bit overdone compared to the average, but all up, usually we do expect to see a bit of a sell-off after the ex-dividend dates, and certainly we've seen it this year.
From them today warrants the sell-off that we saw today?
Well, it was quite a significant profit downgrade. They're expecting to see profit of $130 to $135 million for the year. And on our numbers, that's a cut of 15 to 19% on our targets. So a significant downgrade coming through for Cochlear. And they're saying that second half sales are slow. They're having trouble with market share in the US. And the shares, of course, have been down by 18%. On the flip side, I think one of the positives that came through but was really overlooked by the market in favour of that profit downgrade was the news that they are going to focus on Nucleus 6. Now, of course, the Nucleus 5 recall was 16 months ago now. And it's interesting to see that Cochlear isn't choosing to relaunch that Nucleus 5 product, but rather move on to a new product. And if we have a look at this new product, Nucleus 6, well, it is the industry's only auditory scene sound processing unit, which determines which sound processor to use depending on how much background noise there is.
Julie, you can tune it into your local Wi-Fi and your television, can't I mean, this is fantastic.
It has wireless technology as well. Not only that, it's also the smallest and the most waterproof over-the-ear sound processing unit which will be on the market. So in terms of technology, it's a pretty incredible step, and no doubt that they will see some revenue come through from people looking to upgrade units. And I guess that's been one of the troubles over the last 12 months, that there's really been no new product to sort of try and get that revenue in. But Cochlear, the downgrade really in focus today. It's the forecasts coming out today were down 15 to 19% on our forecast, and the shares down 18%.